All right, we've got stage 1 complete on the Saturn V. So there are some striking similarities, obviously, between the two, but ones that you wouldn't necessarily imagine. One being the color. We've got both of them here, and if you see the flags, the white, the black, everything looks identical. If I were to show you either of these, I think you would be hard-pressed to tell me which one is Lego and which one is Lepin. Right now, to tell you the 100% truth, I think I would prefer one part of the Lepin, and that surprises me. Tolerances overall on the Lego, which this one's the Lego. I don't know if you can see in there. You focus on it at all, but it's got Lego written on all the parts. This is the real Lego. The tolerances overall have been fantastic. It does seem to fit together much nicer. Absolutely nothing is needed to be acetone fused together, which is what I would expect. But there is one part on these fuel runners that are on the outside. I don't know if you can see this at all, but the entire thing spins. Now, it was doing it on the upper one as well, but what I had to end up doing was using a different piece to fill the gap in here so that the white portion wouldn't rotate around. I don't want it to rotate around. So if you see, we've got 3 ridges right here. So the 1, 2, 3. That is the part that is not according to the directions. And if we look on the Lepin, we switch over to that. This does not move, does not spin. And up here, we've got a 2 ridge. 1, 2. Also doesn't spin. So that I do prefer with the Lepin. I don't want the, it just feels like it's not as well kind of designed in that teeny little aspect right there. So there is that. Another thing that really surprises me, spare parts, leftover parts, let's say. These are all the leftover parts I had from the Lepin. All extra stuff that I didn't need through the entire build. Now, here are the leftover pieces from just the first stage of the Lego. So, we've got quite a few from just the first stage. So, I mean, obviously having extra parts is way better than having none, or having, well, not having none, but having extra parts is better than missing a part. So, there's that. Other similarity that was very surprising to me is the instructions. So, here is the Lepin instructions. And we'll go ahead and open to the same page in the directions so we can compare them. Now, this is the Lego. Obviously, a nicer quality as far as even the glossiness of the paper goes, but it is so incredibly close to being an exact replica. So the only real difference I see is the numbers. The numbers are just a little bit smaller on the Lego, but aside from that, they're exactly the same. Now, obviously, that's because the Lepin one stole the Lego one, but a lot of people had complained in reviews that I saw some of the Lepin ones online about how terrible the instructions were, didn't even come with instructions. I haven't experienced that. Obviously, I got a really nice set of instructions with the Lepin, although I guess it's Lion King on this one, to be precise. So, a little weird. But I can't say that I had a problem with the instructions at all. Now, one massive difference between them, I almost forgot about this. Now, I did test fit the second stage. So, the second stage Lepin pops right on to the first stage Lego. So the dimensions are exactly the same, obviously. The pieces are identical in size. Well, in scale, I suppose there may be minute size differences between them, but overall, everything feels the same, looks the same, thicknesses are mostly the same, except for these little red guys. Now, if you look on this one, you can see the kind of white on there, which is a stress fracture basically on it, where the next stage connects in to there. The little red pieces are what clamps on there. Now, they're much thinner on the Lepin. See, so you can see the Lego one is much, much more robust, and I don't think I'm going to have the same problem. The first time I ever put the second stage on this Lepin, it wanted to break that. So I've been real gingerly with it ever since, but it doesn't hold nearly as well as you would like it to, and sometimes when you pick it up, you can feel it starts to kind of want to come apart, which I don't think is going to happen with the Lego. Definitely not from that. Those are way, 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 way better. So we will see what happens as far as the second stage goes. But at this point, it's been fun to kind of feel the difference in quality on it. It's definitely noticeable, but from a distance, and I mean, heck, not even just a distance, from a foot or two away, you can't tell. Would I prefer the Lego if they were the same price? Absolutely. Would I prefer the Lego if it was 20% more? Sure. However, once these go out of production again, and it's difficult to find them, and collectors jack the prices up, then the Lepin's a great option as far as I'm concerned. I know nobody wants to hear that, and they're going to say copyright this and that, but if Lego's not making them and doesn't want to meet the market demand, that's just kind of how the world works, right? Especially with these Chi-Com guys stealing everything left and right. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to construction of the second stage. And after that, we will go ahead and compare them yet again. Stay tuned.